Anderson, who loves coming off the bench with his instant offense jump shot, rarely returns to that bench once he leaves it. His 38 minutes make his sixth-man label a misnomer. But his offensive sparks have constantly put the Sixers in a new and needed offensive gear, which means the Celtics and the league now know that Ron Anderson is no longer a secret.
Live from the Boston Garden, it's the Sixers versus the Celtics.
And a look at Larry Bird, still in street clothes and expected back late February, early March. They are hopeful.
Without his moon shoes on.
Yeah, good night. The tip-off for tonight's 76ers game is brought to you by Miller High Life. Neil Funk, Steve Nicks, as Louis Griot will put it in the air. Jaminski steps in with Robert Parrish. Parrish won the tap, and Dennis Johnson will bring it up as the Celtics have first crack at it. Lewis, McHale, Dennis Johnson, force-fed to Paxson, and it wouldn't go, and Barkley, the first rebound of the night. Sheldon Jones for Jaminski, the turnaround, nothing but net. Mike Jaminski with his first field goal, the Sixers lead 2-zip. Dennis Johnson hounded by Cheeks. Low post Parrish, now at the top Paxson. They swing it nicely. And they find Dennis Johnson. He scores off the glass. Nice job of rotating the ball from the right side to the left side. A 2-2 tie. Percy pops out. Jaminski well away from the basket, checked by Robert Parrish. Parrish averaging almost 13 boards a game. Cheeks from outside, heavy off the heel of the rim, but Jaminski tracks down the offensive rebound and scores. Jaminski with a pair of field goals, and the Sixers lead 4-2. Paxson playing for the injured Danny Ainge. McHale, skip pass. Dennis Johnson sticks the jumper. Now Johnson with all 4 of the Celtic points, and Jaminski with all 4 of the Sixers.
Well, the 76ers do not want to just let McHale and Chief Robert Parrish just come down and score at will. They have to double team and make the Celtics shoot from outside, because I don't think the Celtics can win if they continue to shoot from outside.
Cheeks, as he was given ground by Dennis Johnson, drilled the jumper. 6-4, Sixer lead. At the other end, Dennis Johnson still feels it, misses this time, and Shelton Jones the rebound. Lead is for Barkley. Charles against Paxson, slides through and scores. Had to spin it up with English. Shelton Jones the rebound, and then the lead for Barkley. Dennis Johnson dribbles with his foot. Heart of the lane, Parrish. Fall away, is on the rim short, and the rebound, Jaminski. So Jaminski, Barkley, and Shelton Jones all with a rebound apiece. Early going. An 8-4 Sixer lead. Charles, backdoor, Cheeks the layup good. Cheeks just kept right on going as he lulled Dennis Johnson to sleep.
Well, Dennis Johnson looking at
and a timeout taken by the Boston Celtics with 9:30 left to play here in the first period. The Sixers 10, the Celtics 4. Led by Chris Mullin and rookie sensation Mitch Richmond. Friday, January 27th at the Spectrum. Revenge will be on the 76ers' minds. A tough road loss suffered in Golden State earlier this season. Call 339-7676 for more information. The Warriors and the Sixers.
And it was extremely important for the 76ers to get out of the gate very quickly, as the 76ers are shooting 5 for 6. They pulled down 4 boards. The Celtics 2 for 6 now and no rebounds. So the Sixers are hustling. They're playing good defense, and they're getting some easy shots.
And it's been one and done for the Celtics. Nothing on the offensive glass. Barkley backing in on Dennis Johnson, trying to take him to task. Now Cheeks at the top, picked up by McHale. 2-man game, Cheeks and Barkley. Cheeks down the lane, kicks it out to Jaminski. He fires and got it again. Mike Jaminski with a hot hand early has 3 of the Sixers' 4 field goals. Barkley the other. And it is a 12-4 Sixer lead. McHale twisting and turning and trying to go up, and a whistle blows. Jaminski, hands in the air, acting like, hey, I held my ground, that's all. But he draws the foul. And Kevin McHale will get to the free throw line.
To be
McHale.
effective at the end of ball games. He did score 31 points, which is a season high, but it takes an awful lot out of a ball player.
Talk about what Jimmy Rogers said about that in our first opportunity. Hawkins, Jaminski, not this time. The rebound hauled down by Jim Paxson. A 12-6 Sixer lead. They go to Parrish down deep. He wheels in and scores. Good move, Parrish. He just wheeled right by Jaminski at the baseline. Jaminski out high again, and Parrish comes out to play. Barkley against McHale. Twist by and blocked by Lewis with help from the weak side. Lewis the block, and now the Celtics run. Barkley got back defensively and poked it away as he got a hand in the passing lane.
Charles saying to the referee that he got fouled, but I'll tell you what, Lewis had all ball on that one. That was a good play that time by the defense of the Celtics and Lewis. (12-8). Sixers in front. Dennis Johnson stutter steps down the lane and he scores. Little hesitation move off the dribble. Well, he got by Dennis Johnson, got by Maurice Cheeks, and Charles Barkley was underneath. He should have come over to help it just a little bit and made Dennis Johnson pass off.
A good feed underneath. Hawkins wouldn't go, and no foul as Lewis intimidated him a little bit. The Sixers have really spread the floor on the Celtics at their offensive end. McHale runs in, blocked by Charles. They're going to count it goaltending. I don't know. I'd have to see it again. I guess he was at such close range that it almost had to be goaltending, although it looked like a pretty good block by Charles. The goaltending nonetheless, and it's a 12-12 tie suddenly. Cheeks trying to rub Dennis Johnson off on Jaminski. Shelton Jones stripped. Cheeks is there. 5 on the shot clock. Maurice, he's stripped. And the Celtics come up with it.
I'll tell you what, Maurice was hacked. He wasn't stripped. He was just outright fouled.
We have Paxson driving layup. And suddenly the Celtics come roaring back, and Jimmy Lynam will get a timeout with 6:55.
Solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA is prohibited.
Very fair read.
Now let's take a look at the goaltending call. McHale goes up. Charles Barkley goes up. I'll tell you what, that was probably at the height of that shot. It could have gone either way.
Both clubs now shooting 6 for 10 from the floor. Sixers have out rebounded the Celtics 5-3. Charles from outside, nothing but net there. Barkley measures one off the left wing. And it's a 14-14 tie. 2 ties, 1 lead change. McHale dumps it in. Parrish in the lane, left alone, and scores. Struggled to get the shot up. He couldn't believe he was that wide open.
Well, they've got Charles Barkley on Robert Parrish, and it's a definite mismatch if Robert can get in and start making the shots, which he's done so far tonight.
Well, if he can catch it there. Here's a steal by Parrish. And he double dribbled. Now that's... and he was looking for somebody to give it up to.
The big fella realizing that you don't put the ball on the floor. He should have just made the interception and then stopped and got it over the guard and then took off down the floor.
Because Parrish, even with his advancing age, you don't want to dwell on that, but I'll tell you what, he still runs the floor as well as any big guy in the league.
We had a discussion about that, and I think he's the best running center in the league, probably.
He's among them, if not the best. Barkley for Ron Anderson, who's checked in. Had the big game against the Celtics the other night. Jaminski's jump hook short, but he rebounds himself. Cheeks alone from 21. Heavy off the heel of the rim, and Parrish claims another rebound. 16-14 Celtics. Lob and a drive by McHale. McHale will reverse. And a good lead from Dennis Johnson. 18-14. Celtics jumped out to a big early lead in the Spectrum, but couldn't hold on. They were up 12-zip and 18-4. Outside, Hawkins. He's hit as he releases.
He can go on streaks and hit a ton in a row, and all of a sudden he can miss 2 or 3 in a row. I mean, miss them badly. 18-16,
Celtics for the lead, the ball, and now a 4-point lead. Lewis got loose at the baseline.
Celtics recognized that the Sixers were going to put on that half-court trap and just kind of made their own movement and put Lewis on the baseline. He was wide open going into the bucket.
Shaw has checked in. He tries to get after Mo Cheeks, and a foul on Shaw. Brian Shaw, along with Reggie Lewis, two of the young players that the Celtics are very high on. Jimmy Rogers, I think, as the season began, would have preferred to bring them along a little more slowly. But he said, if anything, maybe this is a blessing. He said, I've had to throw them in there. And they're getting a ton of experience, although a lot of it hasn't been pleasant thus far. 16 and 20 on the year. Here's a near steal. Barkley picked it up. Wide open Cheeks from the wing. Jumper is good. Nothing but net there. Cheeks with his third field goal. He has 3, Jaminsky 3, and Barkley 2. There's a steal. Jaminsky the lead for Cheeks. He's 2-on-1 with Barkley. Cheeks to the hole. Nope. The rebound tapped up and controlled finally by Parrish. You don't see that happen often. Maurice not finishing it off on a break like that. There's a steal again. Jaminsky. As McHale couldn't handle it. Hawkins. Hersey tried to dunk it and blocked by Reggie Lewis. But fouled.
Smart play that time by the Hawk. Tell you what, when you go into the bucket strong like that, you take it right to the guy. The only thing he has the opportunity to do is to foul you, and that's exactly what Hawk did. Take a look. Goes up, tries to dunk it. Lewis goes up. Right hand on his body, hits him all over, going up with his left hand. Hawk goes to the line to shoot 2.
Pumps and makes the first. Hersey 3 of 3 from the line. We're tied at 20. Shaw drive, shovels for Parrish, and now they loop it back outside. Parrish down deep, little hook is good. Boy, he catches it at that range, you can forget it against anybody. Ron Anderson and a whistle, a reach-in foul on Grandison, who had checked in. It is Shaw, Grandison, Parrish, McHale, and Lewis now. As both Dennis Johnson and Jim Paxson have gone to the Celtic bench. So very early on, Jimmy Rogers to his bench, hoping that he'll be able to rest some of his starters and that they won't run out of gas coming down the stretch. Jimmy Rogers between Steve a rock and a hard place. You know, if you don't play Parrish and McHale, you dig yourself such a deep hole that you'll never climb out of it. If you do play him, you got to give them all those minutes, and then you really haven't got a go-to guy down the stretch. Traveling as Maurice couldn't make up his mind. Turnovers, 3 for the Celtics, 4 for the Sixers. They only had 5 turnovers the last time these two clubs played. They're a terrific job. That was a stat that really went unnoticed. McHale buries the jumper on the fall away. That stat really went unnoticed. They only turned it over 5 times.
And that's a season low in the NBA so far this year, 5 turnovers.
And a team record for the 76ers. Boy, that's taking care of the basketball.
You betcha.
They win a lot of games. You only turn it over 5 times. Good feed to Cheeks, who's hammered to the deck on a little give and go with Charles Barkley. Parrish the foul, his first. He has 1, Lewis 1, and Brian Shaw has 1.
Let's take a look at that. The ball goes into Charles Barkley. Maurice cuts back. Shaw lost his man completely, thinking that Charles was going to make a move to the middle. And Maurice just...
Lewis spins and looks wide open underneath, and Shaw missed it at point-blank range. Anderson runs the other way. Andy driving, lays it off to Jaminsky, and a whistle and an offensive foul. Charge to Anderson. He took his eye off the defender as he tried to slip the ball off. Here's a look at it again.
Well, there's probably no reason for that because the 76ers had 3 or 4 guys back. What he should have done was just kind of, instead of getting himself in the air, kind of came to a jump stop, made a nice pass to Mike underneath or over on the right side. I think Charles was on the right side. He had a couple guys wide open.
Down the well, Reggie Lewis. Shaw the assist. 26-22. Sixers playing catch at the perimeter right now. Barkley against McHale. Now Hawkins. 5 on the shot clock, and Lewis stole it. Shaw palmed it. And a good ball by Jake O'Donnell. Oh, the rookie turns it over.
Well, as witnessed earlier this week, 76ers went down and beat Charlotte in Charlotte, losing to Charlotte, coming back into Philadelphia. So, and winning in Philadelphia the other night against Boston. It's tough to play teams back-to-back like this because there's just so many variables involved in the game.
Shaw out of the hole and stripped, but now a little token pressure. You're watching Sixers basketball on PHL 17 in Philadelphia as the Sixers do battle with the Boston Celtics. Neil Funk and Steve Mix with you. Grandison picks up a foul. 7 for 8 from the line are the Sixers as a team. They trail by a deuce. Shaw at the top. Lewis for Shaw. Shaw thought about it, does, and scores off the glass. Out of the University of California at Santa Barbara. It's a little crazy sometimes, a little erratic. Here's a turnover by the Sixers. Now turnovers beginning to hurt. Celtics to inbound. The Sixers already with as many turnovers as they had all of last game. And we're not out of the first quarter yet. Shaw unload, short, rebound. Jaminski battles McHale. Loose as Akers got a hand on it. And a foul. Jake O'Donnell with a call. The push. It's on Gerald Henderson from behind. It is Gerald Henderson, Mo Cheeks, Ron Anderson, Mike Jaminski, and Charles Barkley right now.
Well, the 76ers should be able to take advantage of the Celtics lineup right now when you take a look at it. You got Lewis in there and Shaw, Jim Paxson.
Left. First quarter, Jaminski, 17-footer, short, tap Charles wouldn't go. And away with it come the Celtics. Lewis out of Northeastern. Now Shaw holds the ball on his hip. Shot clock and the game clock not quite in sync. 13 on the game clock. Now 8 on the shot clock. And as Henderson tried for the steal, he's on the sideline. Well, the Celtics will inbound with 7 on the shot clock and 10 on the clock for the quarter. Lewis. Baseline, double pumped and airballed it. Barkley the rebound. Charles a rush up the floor. Bounces to Gerald. He fired. It would have counted had it gone. Let's see how this lineup does. Sixers with a big advantage in terms of bench scoring against the Celtics. Of course, Anderson had 36. That's 54-6. They outscored the Celtic bench on Wednesday night. Henderson with a twisting drive down the lane. And the lead is 4. 31-27. Boston. Paxson. Lojas. Fires and got it. Now this is the guy, and I mentioned this last night already, this is the guy that Tommy Heinsohn swears is going to be a great player, and I just have not seen it and do not see it.
I don't see it either.
I mean, you talk to Tommy, he wears you out about Lojas and that he should get more minutes and so forth. We don't see him that often.
I'd like to see him get more minutes for the 76ers' sake.
Well, and that's blocked by the chief, Robert Parrish, who said, "Not in here, sir."
Well, you just can't go up. You've got to give Robert Parrish some type of head and shoulder fake to freeze him. Let's take a look. He just turned, spun on him, and shot it up. Robert Parrish isn't going to go for that. Don't bring in the weak stuff on Robert Parrish.
Well, low post, back out to Charles. He fires for 3 and missed everything. Gerald Henderson, the rebound, and the shot clock expired as Charles' shot did not draw iron. Gerald came up with it, but it was too late. The 24-second clock went off. And Jimmy lecturing Christian Bell. Shaw against Brooks. Scotty hounds him. Lojas against Anderson. Barkley on Akers. Paxson from outside. That's good. Paxson with his second field goal. Starting in place again tonight of the injured Danny Ainge. Flip cross court. Anderson raises up. Bingo. Anderson. A 19-footer off the left wing. Celtics moving the ball better than they did Wednesday night. Akers spinning. Lojas poked away. Anderson into the table, and Somebody has the beverage of their choice.
It's a good thing we moved the Coke out of here the other day. Otherwise, that whole glass would have been sitting in my lap.
Give me a credit for something.
Not many, pal. Not many.
Sixers go to work. And Henderson bangs one home from the top. A 4-point Celtic lead. Shaw. Brooks got back. Parrish again, just off the box. Backdoor, Paxson down the lane. They've run that play, or at least a variation of it, on 3 occasions, and it's been effective. The Sixers ran very nearly the same thing early on. Here is Gerald, short. Rebound, Ron Anderson. And a clean 24. Belt comes out. And an offensive foul as he popped Paxson as he started his drive.
Inadvertent elbow, making a few faces because of that elbow.
And Gerald trying to reach in and strip Paxson. Celtics will inbound. Morehouse or Dennis Johnson has come back on. Now House checked by Anderson. Drives, fires, missed it. The rebound, Parrish, and a foul. Parrish again there for the offensive rebound. And the foul is Hawkins checks back in. Well, Hawkins at the 2 guard and Scott Brooks at the point now. With Belt, Ben Coleman, and Ron Anderson.
Jake's saying, hey, you can't keep putting your hands on the guy.
Scotty said, well, he's bigger than I am, and I have to. Anderson jumped into the passing lane, but a push foul.
Jake's telling him again, you can't keep your hands on him. Scotty better watch it because Jake will watch that for the next minute or two, and he'll try and get Scotty on one of those calls.
That last foul was on Ron Anderson. And Lowhouse again to inbound. Paxson for Parrish. And a 3-second violation. They moved the ball well, but maybe too well. They passed up at least one shot in that sequence. Turnovers are dead even, 6 each. We're just underway here in the second quarter. Neil Funk, Steve Mix on the 37-31 Boston lead. Percy, Coleman staggered around, now goes up and short. Rebound Parrish. Ahead to Dennis Johnson. DJ cruises. Missed it. Belt the rebound. Hawkins. Nope. That is there a crack in the backboard?
I'll tell you what, if that backboard wasn't there, it would have killed somebody in about the 15th row.
Stole my line. You're right. That thing, that sounded like a shotgun when it hit the.
Here. Yes, sir.
CBS doing the Celtic-Detroit game on Sunday. Yeah, another graduate of the Neil Funk School of Broadcasting. Unfortunately, we had to hold you back a year. That shirted you. Prop 42.
Prop 42.
37-33. The Celtics are the lead in the ball as they bring it up.
I'd walk off, but nobody would care.
Yeah. Johnson, good drive, and scoops with the left hand and scores. Well, right now, the Sixers have got to tighten it up defensively. The Celtics just cakewalking through their defense. Coleman jump hook around the rim and good. They came out with some intensity, but that level has dissipated. Paxson, change of pace. And Luis Rio has the call. And a timeout taken by the Celtics now by calling 1-800-233-4050. That's Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, on January 25th at the Spectrum. And you'll recall the last time those two clubs met at the Spectrum, that's relatively even. first half as Brooks dives and a jump ball called. Dennis Johnson getting after Scott Brooks, and Johnson got the worst of that exchange.
Scotty just lost it. Tried to make a move on Dennis Johnson. Slipped right out of his left hand as he was getting ready to go over to the right hand. Cross-body dribble. Just lost it.
Dennis Johnson wins the tap. Paxson, Reggie Lewis, Dennis Johnson, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale for the Celtics right now. McHale, they cleared that side for a moment. Johnson's wide open. Jumper's good. Dennis Johnson with his 5th field goal and his 10th point. So he's come to life. He came into the game averaging 8.9, and he's better than that already. We still have 5:58 left in the first half. 43-35. Celtics doing a much better job defensively here tonight. Kaminsky, a line drive, hooked it short. Tapped on, won't go. Anderson battled it up again, and finally a whistle. He's going to go against Reggie Lewis, and Anderson will get to the line. He stayed right with it.
I tell you, Ron did an excellent job that time of getting the rebound. He gathered himself.
43-37. Celtics in front. McHale dances one way, then the other, and then missed the shot. And a whistle and a foul. They go against McHale.
Well, you don't see Kevin miss that shot too often when he spins back into the middle. Missed it at point blank range. Ben Coleman right under there, get the rebound. Kevin goes right over.
Now a 6-point Sixer deficit here. Anderson, the fadeaway. That's an air ball, but Barkley is right there. Anderson thought he was fouled, but he might as well give him an assist. Charles was all alone underneath for the dunk. Paxson straight up at the top, heavy off the heel of the rim. Rebound, Dennis Johnson on the drive, and a reach-in foul. Jake O'Donnell. And he looked at Charles. Let's see if that, nope, it's going to be
Maurice Cheeks.
On Mo Cheeks.
So thank you very much. Or as Daryl Dawkins would say, dunk you very much. Charles takes it right up. Boom.
Detroit activated Daryl Dawkins today. And our old friend Gene Shue was fired by the Los Angeles Clippers. And Don Casey, another familiar name to Philadelphia basketball fans, will be the interim coach for the remainder of the season. Scramble for it, still loose. Cheeks has it, and it's 3-on-1, and Kaminsky jams it. And Jimmy and Freddie are beside themselves. They want to foul on the play as well. It's a 4-point Celtic lead. Lewis lost the handle, but McHale picked it up. Dennis Johnson against Cheeks. McHale back to the basket. They swing it hard to the left side. Reggie Lewis all alone, and he sticks it. Lewis, 3 field goals. Again, a 6-point Boston lead. Lob, and that was intended for Anderson, but he was tripped as he started across the lane, or else he would have had an easy basket off the alley-oop.
He recognized the fact that Jim Paxson was on him. He's a couple inches shorter than Ron. And he was just posting him up. Paxson was fronting him. The ball swung from Maurice out the top to Mike, and the only thing Paxson could do was foul Anderson as the pass came in. Ron Anderson was kind of directing traffic out there as he pointed from Maurice back out to Mike Kaminsky. Say, pass the ball out there, and I can post him up all night long.
Paxson comes out, and Brian Shaw checks back in. Shaw matched up with Cheeks, and a whistle. Here's an illegal. Shaw beat everybody.
About 6 or 7 times, somebody for the Celtics is just taking the ball right down the middle. Like you said before a couple minutes ago, 76ers defense must tighten up.
Cheeks. Percy Hawkins. Hawk down the lane, dribbled it off his hip, got a reach-in foul. Our producer, Dave Getz.
Yeah.
Cheeks battles Shaw. Anderson around Kaminsky. Fakes and fires and got it. He ripped another one home off the right side this time. 3 field goals, 9 in the first half for Ron Anderson. 49-43. Driving Lewis, and he scores. He answered right back. Lewis with a nice first half. 4 field goals and 8 points. Back screen, Jaminsky. Cheeks being battled by Shaw. Got it across the timeline. Down the boulevard he comes. That's blocked by McHale. McHale, good help defensively. And that's stolen by Ron Anderson. Seems like every time one team turns it over, the other team responds in kind at the other end. And a timeout taken by the Sixers.
Be sure to pick up your Miller Lite NBA All-Star ballot at the Spectrum or at Miller Lite displays in stores and taverns, and vote for your favorite Sixers on this year's ballot. Charles Barkley, Maurice Cheeks, Mike Jaminsky, and Hersey Hawkins. And remember, fans, for great taste, there's only one light beer. Miller Lite, proud sponsor of NBA All-Star voting.
Hersey Hawkins to inbound following the Sixer timeout. Lead pass nearly picked off by Reggie Lewis, who would have been off to the races with Parrish and Dennis Johnson. And only Hawkins back.
Well, 76ers have 1 second to get the ball.
Although it will be inbounded in the backcourt, they get it the whole 10 seconds.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's still only 15 left on the shot clock. So
they got the fresh 20 or 10 seconds and get it across. Hawkins, Dennis Johnson worked on the rookie, and then a whistle and a foul on DJ.
Good move by the Hawk that time. Dennis Johnson pressuring the Hawk up at half court. See the body checking by Johnson. He felt the body. He just spun that time on Johnson, was able to take it to the baseline.
It is freezing in this building now.
Well, Red's sitting right behind us, and he's got a park on. So what's that tell you? You know, everybody else is in
Has
shorts.
he got a gun or a knife or anything? I've already had my go around with him. And guess who won?
Yeah.
McHale. Actually, I won. Spinning in on Jaminsky, and then carries a line drive hook. Out of a half hook that he actually threw down at the basket. Hawk against Dennis Johnson. 53-45, the Celtics. Jaminsky had a hot hand early, not this time. Barkley had it, lost it, loose. Jaminsky has it. G goes up, scores, it counts, and he's fouled. Got a break there. Charles saved the day by keeping it alive.
Here we take a look at Mike's shot. Came off a little long. Charles and McHale fighting for the ball. Lewis goes over there, knocks it over to Mike Jaminsky. Good fake up to get McHale up in the air. Good head and shoulders fake, and Mike put the ball in and go to the line. Try to finish off the three-point play.
Jaminsky, go ahead, Steve.
90% free throw shooter. And yeah, why do you know, go ahead, hit me next time.
No, I tried to interrupt you. Jaminsky with 5 field goals, 10 points, is 0 of 1 from the free throw line. As the Celtics try to operate. Lob from McHale. He mishandled it, and it's out of bounds.
Celtics do a lot of isolation down low. That time they just pulled everybody out, and they isolated McHale on Jaminsky. Bad pass that time by Parrish, but otherwise he would have had an easy layup because Mike was playing high side.
Well, they got just enough perimeter shooting here in the first half to balance things out. Hawkins on a drive, and that's stolen. Lewis to Shaw, bang. 55-47 as the Sixers have turned it over more times. In fact, turned it over more times in the first quarter than they did in the entire game against Boston Wednesday night. And turnovers continue to plague them as the Celtics have been able to finish it off at the other end.
Well, the Celtics, you got to give them credit because they're playing a lot better defense
much
tonight
better
than they were the other night.
Especially on that man, Ron Anderson. Hawkins falling, firing from 15 and got it off the rim. 36 seconds left to play. First half, 55-49, Celtics. And that time, it is Dennis Johnson who loses it. Cheeks all alone, and the layup good. A turnover, 2 quick baskets by the Sixers. Parrish, and a good thing it was Parrish, for Ron Anderson might have had another turnover as he shadowed Parrish back. 55-51, Celtics. Dennis Johnson, 8 on the shot clock, 10 on the clock for the half. Lewis for McHale, falling, firing, missing, and just beat the 24-second buzzer. When that buzzer sounded, everybody quit on the play, and Parrish tipped it in. And that's the end, as the Boston Celtics lead 57-51. Stay tuned now for 76ers halftime with Joe Pellegrino.
Brought to you by McDonald's family restaurants of southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. The Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers have faced each other 60 times in playoff competition, highlighted by great matchups and great moments. In 1965, Wilt Chamberlain's first season with the Sixers, in the Eastern Conference Final, perhaps the most memorable call in NBA history was delivered by Boston's own Johnny Most.
There are 5 seconds left. Greer is going to throw the ball in. Johnny?
Greer is putting the ball on a play. He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it. Over the stand, Joe. Havlicek stole the ball. It's all over. It's all over. Johnny Havlicek is being mobbed by the fans. It's all over.
Since then, it's been anything but over. For the last 25 years, the rivalry has been one to cherish.
Both teams were so good for so long, and that's unusual in athletics. And when you have two teams who are that good for that period of time, usually it means both teams have good players, special players. And, you know, going all the way back, whether you're talking a Russell and a Chamberlain matchup or whatever, but there's so many little vignettes like that that pepper the history of the series that that's why I would put it in a special category.
The fervor of the 60s has been revisited during many regular season games and 4 times in the playoffs this decade. The best in recent memory were the back-to-back years in '81 and '82. Both needed 7 games to decide. In 1981, behind the heroics of Larry Bird, Boston flew back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Sixers 4-3 and went on to win it all. This Dawkins miss and the Bird conversion sealed it. Former Celtic Gerald Henderson holds the memory of the rivalry in high regard.
One word that typified all the meetings, and that was intensity. You know, we hated coming down here, and I guess the Sixers hated going up to Boston, but we would win at home, and the Sixers would win at home. And I think that's what kept it going, because the fans played such a great part in it.
Ah, the home court advantage. The test of time has shown it holds true. Except in '82. Maurice Cheeks came into his own as Julius Erving had a score to settle. Meanwhile, the hopes of Sixers fans were crushed when Boston won Game 6 at the Spectrum to force a finale at the Garden. The '82 Sixers went on to earn their conference title on the road in Game 7. But now Julius's show has become Barkley's, while the Celtics are struggling with much the same cast.
People underestimate them. You know, they have struggled, but still it's a team that's filled with all-stars in McHale and Parrish and DJ and Ainge, still formidable 4 guys.
From the ghosts of Celtics past to the famed Boston Strangler, the great tradition of Celtics-Sixers games makes professional basketball and 2 fine cities proud of their continuing rivalry.
Celtics have a lead. Here we see turnovers. Big key, I think, in the first half. 9 turnovers first half for the 76ers. It's compared to just 5 the whole game the other day, which you don't see too often. But here we see Brian Shaw finishing off the fast break off the turnover. And for the Celtics, here we see one more reason that the 76ers go in their half-court trap. Lewis goes up, cans a little 18-footer. And for the Celtics, their guards shot 11 for 20. So an area that we were concerned about earlier, hoping that the 76ers wouldn't shoot real good from the outside, and they are 11 for 20 for their guards.
And another area, the bench, 11 points out of the Celtic bench, where they got just 6 in the entire game Wednesday night, as the Sixers did outscore them 15-11 off the bench, but the Celtics did a much better job in the first half in that area as well. Sixers go to work to begin the second half. Hawkins in and out, no good, and Parrish snaps down the rebound. Neil Funk with Steve Mix at the Boston Garden. as the Sixers have their work cut out for them. They played the Celtics even in the second period, 26-26, but were outscored in the first quarter, 31-25. And that's the 6-point disparity. McHale. Johnson flashed the lane. Now he's wide open. The jumper is good. DJ had a high hand in the first half. He was 5 for 7. He's now 6 for 8 on the night. 59-51. Barkley around the rim and good. Charles buries a jumper of his own. He had just 6 points in the first half. 3 of 6 from the floor. And did not get to the free throw line, strangely enough. Paxson, nothing but net from the outside.
And only 3 rebounds for Charles first half also.
Barkley feeding Cheeks, and it's kicked out of bounds. They're going to give the ball to the Sixers. McHale, Parrish, Paxson, Dennis Johnson, and Lewis for the Celtics. For the Sixers, Hersey Hawkins, Maurice Cheeks, Mike Jaminski, Charles Barkley, and Shelton Jones. Same way they started the game. Good little skip pass from Barkley to Jaminski, and the fall away is good. Baseline left, 7-footer Mike Jaminski from Charles Barkley. And G-Man, 6 field goals and 12. McHale back to the basket, doubled down as Cheeks ran at him. Now they go to Parrish. Cheeks runs it in. Paxson's along. Jumper won't go. Parrish, the offensive rebound.
Number 11 for Robert Parrish.
Paxson, Parrish on the roll. He scores. So a 2-man game with Paxson and Parrish. 63-55. Jaminski straight up. Charles thought about it and almost forgot the ball. Drives and fires and scores. A pair of buckets to begin the third period for Charles. Now 5 field goals, 10 points in the game.
Charles must assert himself this second half if the 76ers are going to get back in the game to win.
McHale doubled. McHale falling in the lane and got the roll. That danced and kicked high off the back of the rim and dropped. Celtics shot 60% from the field in the first half. Sixers 50%. Cheeks. Charles again. They clear the side for him. Cheeks spins it to Hersey Hawkins. Way off target, and the rebound comes off to Dennis Johnson. Looking for a lead for Paxson. It wasn't there. He pulls up, missed it. Barkley. Power dribbles around Dennis Johnson. To Jaminski, he's grabbed by Paxson.
Good foul that time by Jim Paxson. The 76ers coming down 4-on-1.
Free throw percentage makes that one.
See, I didn't say it that time, and he hits 2 in a row.
I said it.
Okay.
Parrish trying to enter the lane, and a whistle stops that.
76ers going to their big lineup now with Chris Phelps, Mike Jaminski. Keep Charles Barkley from guarding Robert Parrish or Kevin McHale, because the Celtics were just exploiting that height advantage that those 2 players had on Charles.
Lewis sticks one from outside over Charles on the perimeter. At the other end, McHale still picks up Barkley. Hawkins double clutches and scores. Tough shot by Hersey. The Hawk inside. It's a 6-point game, 67-61. Celtics will lead the ball. Lewis. They gun it inside. McHale stripped but foul. Travel arranged through Eastern Airlines, serving Latin America with convenient flights to 18 exciting cities in 15 countries. Eastern, we've got your ticket to explore South America. Neil Funk, Steve Mix, as McHale gets to the line, and the Celtics continue to jam the
Shooting the ball extremely well from the outside, and it makes it real difficult to double down on the post player.
Hawkins trying to fight his way into traffic. Does. Leaves it for Jaminski. Fakes. Paxson once, twice, and there's going to be an offensive foul off the ball on Charles. Nope, it's a 3-second violation. I take it back.
Charles anticipated the shot that time by Mike Jaminski, and he was caught in the lane trying to get position.
Dennis Johnson, Paxson, down deep it comes again to McHale. McHale up top. Dennis Johnson down the lane. Nope. Tap wouldn't go, and rebound Jaminsky. Cheeks started to push it. Dances away with a belt-high right-hand dribble and looks. Barkley for Belt trying to flash, and that's picked off. Paxson grabbed by Charles, and a whistle. On Charles. Personal foul number 2. There's a look. Just couldn't get his hand out of there fast enough.
Had to steal, but like I said, just couldn't get it out fast enough. And he called Charles for the foul.
Here he has Charles trying to breathe some life back into the Sixers. Draws them to within 5. They can cut the lead to 4 here at the free throw line.
Charles made an excellent steal. He realized that Dennis Johnson's back. He just kind of sidestepped him, drew the foul, protected the ball, kept it away from Dennis Johnson that time, and drew the foul.
Charles buries the free throw. 68-64. Sixers trying to get more aggressive with their defense. Low house and nothing but net there. Just off the elbow on the right side. Low house with his second field goal. Velp against Parrish. Faked him, and Robert wasn't buying. Barkley for 3, short. Lewis the rebound. Parrish, and that's taken away by Cheeks. A weak pass. Maurice anticipated it, and then Johnson nearly stole it back, but Hawkins picked it up and scored.
Kind of a strange play there, wasn't it?
Lewis with a nice feed to Maurice, and then Maurice a nice feed to Dennis Johnson, and then Dennis Johnson a nice feed for the assist to Hersey Hawkins, and a timeout taken with 6:28 remaining here in the third period. The Celtics 70, the Sixers 66. Wednesday, February 1st, to do battle with the Sixers. Call the Sixers at 339-7676 for information on some great discount offers available for this game. That's the Sixers and the Washington Bullets. Wednesday, February 1st at the Spectrum. The Bullets and the Sixers.
There you go. I'd like to go home and have an argument over that. I'm for the 76ers. I'm for the Celtics.
I'm rooting for her, I can tell you that. Oops. Shaw has checked in. Cheeks plays him defensively. McHale played by Jaminsky. Hawkins forces Lewis into a travel at the baseline on the right side. That is 12 turnovers for Boston now.
Good triple team that time by the 76ers, but all the Celtics are doing, they're just posting up the guy that has the mismatch out there. They have 3 7-footers in there, plus Lewis.
Barkley, alone Cheeks, 2-man game, back to Charles. Belt fakes. Hawkins, 6 on the shot clock. Gunned out. Jaminsky fires over Parrish, rattles it around and drops it. Now it's a 2-point Boston lead, 70-68. The crowd a little restless. McHale, hand off. Lewis blocked by Belt. Loose, and Jaminsky will, I thought was going to try to get it at the baseline, but couldn't. Cheeks touched it last. And Lowhouse will inbound, baseline right underneath the Celtic basket. Shaw. Lowhouse, now McHale. And reaching in, Mo Cheeks. Again, the Sixer guards trying to double down on either Parrish or McHale when they catch it. And they're over the limit, so McHale will shoot these. Kevin McHale pumps. 72-68 Boston. Ball on PHL 17 in Philadelphia. Neil Funk, Steve Mix, as the Sixers are battling from behind here. The Boston Garden. Barkley, skip pass across the top. Cheeks, and nothing there as they didn't even run at him that time. Lowhouse out out high against Barkley. Sixers have forced them out a little higher now in their offensive set. Now they get it in deep. Parrish rolls in. Right hand hook on the front of the rim and good. 5-point advantage. Boston. Barkley for Velp. Now Charles cuts away. Velp against Lohaus. Backs him in. Falls, fires, blocked by Lohaus. Lead is going to be run down. Not run down. Cheeks will let it go out of bounds, and the Sixers will get it. Christian just didn't have the quickness to. That's about 3 times he's tried to put a move on, and twice against Parrish and once against Lohaus. So you're battling guys who are 7 feet or close anyway. That time he had it blocked. Charles looks. 3 on the shot clock. 2, 1. He has to force it and missed it. The rebound, Parrish. Good defense by the Celtics. Lohaus for McHale. See Cheeks down there, but McHale knocked it in anyway. Cheeks again ran at the big guy with help, but not in time.
Initially.
Hubie Brown and Dick Stockton, of course, coaching the inbounds plays at that end of the floor. Cheeks with a belt high right hand dribble, circles against Shaw. Now up top, Anderson pump fakes, hangs, fires, short. Tap Charles is a beauty. Charles tipped it home with his left hand.
Well, the 76ers certainly did need that because they were starting to lose it here, down 7 as they closed the gap around the 70 mark. But
Cheeks bothering Shaw, nearly had a steal. Shaw picked up by Kaminsky on the switch. McHale and now Barkley with good help. Lohaus though is left alone and he scores. Barkley with good help as he realized that Cheeks was caught on McHale. But that left Lohaus open and he stuck the jumper. Lob, that's picked off by McHale. Shaw. Lewis. Shaw again. Thought about it, didn't. Parrish. The big fella turns on Velp. Wheels him into the lane. Fires in and out. Tap McHale, no, and Kaminsky the rebound. Maurice. Cuts away. Charles into the paint. Maurice, a 20-footer in and out. Lohaus the rebound. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Sixers one shot and done as the Celtics are controlling the defensive boards.
Lewis off the pick from McHale. Jumper, good again. 81-72. Boston with 2:05 left to play in the third. Little give and go. Cheeks, and he's hammered to the deck. Lewis the foul, although Shaw got a piece after the whistle had blown. Here it is.
Once again, we see the
Boom.
cut.
Yep. Well, both clubs have
The full court or half court traps.
81-74. Boston in front. Sixers jumped to an early lead in this game. And the Celtics seized it, haven't given it up. Shaw missed once. McHale won't miss the second time. (83-74). Minute 29. Anderson for Kaminsky. Barkley looking, stares at McHale. Puts him on the floor, goes inside. Great move, and he scores in his foul. He had to make a tremendous move because McHale couldn't have played that much better. Watch this. Well, he just went underneath him.
Really did. Well, nobody came over to help for the Celtics that time. Charles, realizing that he had room in the paint, just took it right past McHale. Mark Akers, Lohaus, neither one of those guys came over to help McHale. You just can't guard Charles Barkley one-on-one. Let him get through there. He's too clever once he goes up with the ball, and he's going to draw the foul.
Well, Charles' number is beginning to grow now. He had only 6 points, 3 rebounds at the half, but now 17 points and 6 boards. David Wingate comes from deep down on the Sixer bench, and he enters the game. Oh, David checks in. We have not seen him in a while. Mo Cheek sits down. Barkley, Wingate, Jaminski, Anderson, and Henderson, who handles, fires from 16 and scores. Gerald Henderson, former Celtic, has his 3rd field goal and his 6th point. Shaw. Gerald jumped at him. He nearly walked once and twice, and then
caught his own pass.
Yeah, caught his own pass. He did a little bit of everything.
Yes, he
and all
did.
3 of them were all 3 things he did were violations. He finally got called for one. 83-79. Sixers hanging right in there. They draw to within a field goal. Anderson for 3. Nope. And the rebound run down by David Wingate to Jaminski. Good fake on Akers. Fires. Got it. Softly.
76ers mounting a little comeback. 83-81.
30 seconds left. 3rd quarter. Shaw. Pounds the dribble. Circles. Lowhouse the screen. McHale. They doubled down again. Lowhouse is open. Not this time. Charles the rebound, and the Sixers can tie. Charles will play for 1 now as the shot clock is turned off. 6 seconds. 5, 4. Charles. The 3. Nope. That's heavy. The rebound, Anderson. At the horn. It wouldn't have counted even had it gone. So we have played 3 periods. The Celtics 83. The Sixers 81.
At 1-800-345-8112.
David Wingate, and our man there for the 4th quarter shootout caught a break because Wingate has not played in a while, and all of a sudden he's in the ball game. Gerald gambles for the steal. (83-81). Celtics for the lead as we're just underway in the 4th quarter. Akers falling and firing, missing. And Charles knocked to the deck. He got sandwiched between 2 players. And Akers the foul. And the Sixers will inbound. David Wingate against Paxson. Anderson against Reggie Lewis. For Charles. Charles kind of nods him off and fires. It wouldn't fall. The rebound, Reggie Lewis, and the foul is going to go against the Sixers. It's on Ron Anderson. More of a frustration foul than anything else there. And Lewis did a good job on him defensively. Parrish getting set to re-enter. And Akers comes out. Well, if the Celtic bench, Steve, has not been spectacular, it has at least done what Jimmy Rogers needed, or given him what he needed, and that is just the ability to rest some of his regulars.
And they've done a good job of that. You're right. But he's played them in good spots tonight. He hasn't put them all out there together, and he's had McHale out there, Parrish with everybody.
Parrish scores to turnaround. 85-81, a 4-point Celtic lead. Barkley against McHale. Charles kicks it out. Wingate finds Henderson baseline. That wouldn't fall. Wingate the long rebound to Charles. Dishes Anderson. Layup good. Anderson using the rim to shield himself. Surfaced on the left side, and we're sorry about the. You get the watchman, just don't get the. Or you don't get the
starter jacket.
Get the jacket. Don't get the watchman. Near steal. McHale able to handle it though. 85-83. Celtics by 2. Sixers trying to D up. Coleman leaning on McHale, trying to deny him the pass. Wingate came with help. But a foul. That's on Ben Coleman pushing from behind. 2 on Ben. And Reggie Lewis sideline right to inbound. Dennis Johnson glancing back at Jimmy Rogers to see what he wants. Parrish out high, inside in deep, McHale, and he is really whacked.
Player when he's out on the floor, and Larry Bird is one of those types of players.
Anderson, it wouldn't go for him. 87-83. On a couple of occasions, the Sixers have drawn to within 2, only to watch Boston fight them off. Parrish, and he's whacked from behind again. This time Wingate. Or did Charles shove him?
No, I was on David Wingate that time as he tried to steal the entry pass into Parrish. Gave Parrish a good whack on the right arm. January 27th at the Spectrum. Revenge will be on the 76ers' minds from a tough road loss suffered in Golden State earlier this season. Call 339-7676 for information.
For the Celtics, Paxson, Reggie Lewis, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, and Kevin McHale. For the Sixers, Wingate, Henderson, Anderson. 89-83, 9:37 left. Sixers trying to get something sustained going. Twice they have drawn to within 2. I want to see it. The Celtics pull away again. Wingate, good move. Changed it in midair. Barkley's follow is good. Charles just wrestled that away and then laid it in. Parrish, a back screen.
Moving back screen also,
yeah.
because he certainly did move, but Tommy Nunez, referee right on it, didn't call it.
McHale. Paxson posted. Has trouble with it, now takes it into the lane, and a whistle blows. 3-second violation. Paxson messed around with it long enough, and they finally got the 3-second call against the Celtics. That is the 16th Boston turnover. 13 for the Sixers.
They're doing a much better job this second half of protecting the ball.
Kicks it out. Wingate had trouble. Saves it back loose in the middle. Coleman snaps at it. Goes up. No. And then Parrish is taken away by Barkley, but they're going to whistle it a foul. Charles thought first, well, maybe I was on the end line, but that's not the call. The call is a foul. It's on Charles. His third.
Charles still arguing the call. Robert Parrish comes down with the rebound. Here we see Ben going up with a shot. Good block that time by McHale. Parrish gets ready to turn, gets ready to throw the ball, and you can see Charles's right arm hitting Robert Parrish on the arm also. His right arm just kind of slid up from the elbow right on up.
Parrish again dances one home. And another.
Tell you what, as well as inconsistent as Robert Parrish has been playing all year, he may have a hard time making the All-Star team.
Yeah, what a shame that would be,
yes.
too. You're right, he's played awfully well. Wingate, Barkley against McHale. He got it, he's fouled. Charles falling and firing, and McHale raked him across the arm. This is just one-on-one right here.
Good, strong move. McHale reaches in.
Ooh, shot it on the way down.
Yep.
Still got it there.
One more time. Feels the body of McHale. Fades back a little bit. Shoots it on the way down. Draws the foul. Charles Barkley completes the three-point play to draw the Sixers within 3. 91-88.
8:17 left. Lewis uses the Parrish pick. Underneath McHale, he's wide open. He flashed the baseline from right to left, and they found him wide open underneath. The Sixers gave up the cheap baskets there as Gerald drives. Tough shot with a foul. He windmilled that up and drew the foul from Parrish.
Good job of getting into the paint. Sees Robert Parrish comes over and he draws the contact that time, but Gerald Henderson does an excellent job of drawing contact on when he's driving to the bucket like that, because he was able to draw the contact, shifted the ball into his right hand, just kind of floated one up off the board, didn't go in, but he hits 2 free throws.
Lewis. Dennis Johnson again. He glances at Jimmy Rogers standing in front of the Celtics bench. Parrish comes out high. McHale was also high. Dennis Johnson unloads. Bingo. Well, he's done that throughout his career. Just when you don't think he's going to shoot it, he does from downtown and knocks it in. Kaminsky for Ron Anderson. And Lewis has done an admirable job on him tonight. 9 on the shot clock. Gerald for Charles. Thought about a 3. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Fires. Missed it. Kaminsky's follow. No. Tap. Gerald Henderson. No. And a whistle will stay at that end, so the foul is on Boston. And Henderson will get to the free throw line.
Charles, realizing that the clock was running down, pulls up for the three-pointer. Mike Kaminsky fouls up, just misses a little bit. Gerald Henderson, smallest guy out on the floor, fights for the offensive rebound. The 76ers are not giving up easily tonight as they're continuing to pound the offensive boards now.
They trail by 3, 95-92. They said they've gotten it to 2 a couple of occasions, but could get no closer. Dennis Johnson twisting and turning. McHale goes down deep now. Paxson feeds. Paxson for 3, the home run. He got it. Paxson for 3. 98-92. Cheeks. Kaminsky. Good entry pass. Charles got it. He's fouled as well.
As McHale is going to argue that one. Everybody in this place, Jimmy Rogers, Kevin McHale, all 17,000 fans saying Charles Barkley jumped right into him. Let's take a look at it and see if they're right.
And they also might have thought he was in there 3 seconds. Let's see.
He just turns and leans right into McHale.
Charles can get the 3 right back. The tray by Paxson, and the crowd comes to life here in Boston.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Kevin McHale's played 9 years in this league, and I don't think he's ever committed a foul. If you look at his face every time they call one on him.
One of those Rick Barry tricks, right?
You betcha.
Who, me? 98-95, back to the 3-point Celtic advantage. And the basketball. 6:14 left to play. Paxson for McHale. They try to go backdoor again, and there's a grab by McHale as he prevented the fast break. As he grabbed a hold of Gerald Henderson. So the Sixers defense came to life. Fans Pizza Hut wants you to go over the top of the Sixers about after the missed drive.
Kevin McHale doing an excellent job of boxing out Charles. Charles gave him a little right arm shove there. Push McHale out. Charles gets the board. Lays it right back in. 76ers defense the last 3-4 minutes has picked up tremendously and allowed the 76ers to get back into this ball game.
And there's a little pressure following the timeout. Anderson, Cheeks, and Gerald Henderson back.
A little token pressure that time by the 76ers.
Paxson and Gerald gambled, tried for the steal, but fouled him. He was off to the races if he'd picked it clean. Watch him just come and bang. He didn't even play the passing. He was just going to try and strip it and go.
The Al Domenico theory, and Al isn't. First one to 100 wins.
Let's hope not.
Yes.
3-point Sixers deficit. Charles for Gerald for 3. The home run. Nope. The rebound hauled down by Akers. That looked good when it left his hand, but came up short. Lewis, good fake in traffic, and a foul. Percy Hawkins checks in for him. Anderson. Cheeks. Hawk fakes, drives baseline, lays it back to Kaminsky. Cheeks from the top of the circle. Off target, Barkley had it, and he was knocked out of there like a bowling pin. Akers the foul, his second.
Shot clock running down. Maurice just kind of catches it and fires it up. Akers just kind of pushed Charles right out of the way.
Makes the first free throw. Charles perfect at the line, 5 for 5, and has 27 points now after having only a 6-point first half.
Well, Charles needed a monster second half if the 76ers were expected to win this game.
He's come on with a rush. Akers, again, the Sixers gambling, scrambling defensively, trying to shake up the Celtics. Here's the steal. Hawkins. Hawkins takes it all the way in and is grabbed by Reggie Lewis. Hawk will get to the free throw line. So that defensively. Paxson. Checked by Hersey. Hawkins picked up his dribble and he's in trouble. Nowhere to go. Still nowhere. Finally hands to Dennis Johnson. 11 on the shot clock. Paxson alone between two defenders. Wouldn't fall, and Jaminski and a loose ball foul. Robert Parrish. Jaminski battling with Parrish and won that battle as Parrish guilty of the climbing foul.
The importance of boxing someone out. Shot goes up. Mike Jaminski did an excellent job that time of boxing out Parrish. The only alternative Parrish had was to go over his back if he was going to get the rebound.
G-Man at the free throw line. 2 of 2 on the night, 18 points. Had a hot hand very early in the game when the Sixers surge jumped out into an early lead. Jaminski rattles that around, but it drops. G. In the air. Perfect again. We talked about the 1-on-1. Sixers, now they closed to within 2 on about 3 occasions, maybe 4. And the Celtics kept fighting them off. And finally, they tightened up the defense. And they kept clawing and battling, and they lead by 2 as the Celtics bring it up. Brian Shaw with Dennis Johnson in the backcourt. Akers, Reggie Lewis, and Parrish the front line. Parrish falls and fires and got it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. The rainbow by Parrish. We're tied at 103. Cheeks. Now it's important that the Sixers here take much better care of the basketball a la Wednesday night than they did in the first half here in the Garden tonight. Anderson uses Jaminski. Nice switch by Parrish. Jaminski's alone. Wouldn't fall. Rebound Parrish. Celtics can regain the lead. Cheeks sets off Dennis Johnson. Lewis pump fakes into the lane, goes up, scores. A running right-hander by Reggie Lewis. And a timeout taken by the Sixers. And again, the Celtics got one as they ran right down the heart of the lane. 3:26 left to play. 105-102 there in the Boston Garden. Cheeks against Shaw. Anderson against Lewis. Hawkins, checked by Dennis Johnson. Barkley, Charles with Akers on him. Backs him into the lane, kicks it out. Cheeks raises up an 18-footer, kaboom! We're tied at 105. Big jumper by Cheeks. Shaw nearly mishandled it. Maurice dogging in. Dennis Johnson played by Hersey Hawkins. Veteran against rookie. Johnson circles, picked up by Barkley. Akers inside, but Johnson unloads and scores. Johnson has made 2 big field goals. And the Celtics go back in front. 2:32 left. Jaminski. Hawkins. Charles comes to receive the ball. Against Akers. Trying to back him in. Kicks it out. A swing at the Hawkins. 2 on the shot clock. 1. He won't get it away. The 24-second violation. The Celtics force the Sixers into a turnover.
Nothing worse with 2:13 left.
Wow.
Than to come up with no shot when it's your possession, you've got to know how much time is left on the clock. And even if you just fire one up there with 1 or 2 seconds left, it's better than not getting anything at all.
Shaw. Pick and roll. Parrish lost it, and it's out of bounds. They're going to rule Jaminski touched it last. They're going to give it to the Celtics. Charles' little con job here, and that won't work. Shaw, baseline right to inbound. Underneath the Celtic basket. Parrish. Dennis Johnson. He fires again. He's good again. 109, 105. Shaw getting after him. See if they look to Charles. Anderson. Ronnie a bounce. Charles takes it into the lane. In heavy traffic and is bumped off his feet. And we'll get to the 07, 1:30 left. Fourth quarter. Here in the Boston Garden. Neil Funk with Steve Mix. Lewis, wide open Shaw. He flashed the baseline from right to left. Lewis with a penetration, and the Sixers, everybody with their heads turned. Jaminski down the boulevard with a hook. No, Charles battling. Celtics get it. (111-107). Celtics spread the floor out. The clock in the red now, 55 seconds left. Lewis dribble drive. Blocked by Jaminski. 17.
Nice cousin.
Yeah. Dandy. 48 seconds left as the Sixers bring it up following their 20. Cheeks. Wheels it down the right side. Hersey trying to drive, and a reach-in foul on Dennis Johnson. They're on that. It's a 4-point Celtic lead. Parrish, a veteran, gives it up for Dennis Johnson, a veteran. Now Shaw. Sixers scrambling defensively. 28 seconds left. Shaw. 9 on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson dances with a dribble on the left side. He unloads again. Come on. He has broken the Sixers' backs down the stretch. Jaminski for Charles for 3. Off target and out of bounds. It's going to belong to the Celtics. Shaw the lead for Akers, and it will be fouled with 6, or rather,
goaltending call by Charles Barkley.
With 6 seconds left. 117-109 the Celtics. Cheeks down the lane, and the ball game is over. The Celtics win it 117-109 as they really had to hold on after a furious run by the Sixers.